that's what I do for like earning money. But tech is something in which I'm like a lot. I spend a lot of time into tech. I have built applications for different. I have like worked on a lot of things. I have built application for Australian government. I'm into open source. I have built different kind of softwares, different kind of test scripts and stuff. But today I'll be talking about a very basic topic, which is stepping into the tech world. So if you're quite new to tech stuff, if you are a very beginner, that I believe this talk is going to help you a lot. I'll be resolving your queries and questions as well. At this point, if you see in year 2022, or like the last 3 years, the tech world is in quite boom. We are the people who are like working from home without any issues. We are like doing all kind of stuffs without any issues. And if you look at the current statistics, I believe last year we had like 20 plus unicorns born up in India, which means like a lot of startups get started. They got funding. They have a value like they're holding a very good valuation, right? They're having a really good funding, they're having a good team, and they're expanding. Like why this kind of things are happening? Why it wasn't here in India like 20 years back, or like let's say 10 years back? So technology is something which helps us to do things very smoothly, very nicely. Let's say if I want to send an email to 10 people, I can send it manually, right? But if I have to send that email to 1,000 people, it becomes difficult to me. That's where technology comes in. There will be a tool, there will be a software, there will be a company who will help you to do that thing. And it's gonna be like a 2 or 3 minute job for them. And at this point, when we are growing, when we are having good access to internet, technology is expanding, we are using those tools, we are making our lives more simpler using technology. Like if I talk about 2016, 2015, or 2014, there was no internet access, like not this much internet we were using. I remember when I bought my first phone, I used to had an internet recharge of 1 GB per month, and I wasn't able to basically fulfill like complete the data, like use that complete 1 GB in a complete month. If we are talking at if I talk in 2022, I believe within a couple of minutes we have consumed around 1 GB in like in this video streaming. So technology is evolving. We are having a lot of jobs, we are having like a lot of new things coming up. If you look at Facebook, they have launched a new thing called metaverse. Like their complete team is hiring for engineers, and they are like expanding. They're like expanding very exponentially. They because they believe in metaverse. They're investing their time in virtual reality, artificial and augmented reality. And like artificial intelligence is something which we are seeing right now, which wasn't present like 5 or 10 years back. It was there, but we don't have access to do that now. This is the basic reason of getting into tech, right? Everyone, like, even if you see, there are multiple startups or multiple companies who are teaching children to code. Like you should be able to code and stuff. Like if I see, there are a couple of uh friends of mine whose younger brothers are learning coding, and they are like they keep interact with me to like do stuff. Like I want to build an application, and they're just like 12 or 13-year old teenagers who are building these great things. So technology is obviously going to help us in different aspects. If we look at power of parity, like the power to buy something, like the wage difference. Let's talk about a basic graduate. Let's talk about two people. The first one is graduated from one of the prestigious universities in India. Let's take an example of Delhi University. He or she did a BCom honors, and on the other side, there's another person who did something technical. Let's say BVoc in tech, or BSc in computer science, or engineering in something like that, right? So if you look at the wage gap, the BCom person will be getting into accountancy and stuff. There will be high chances that he will be getting a good job and a good salary. But if you look at that, the engineering guy or the computer science related guy, the IT tech guy, that guy will be getting like more than thrice the amount the other person is getting when they both are fresher, when they both are young, when they both have energies. So there's a very big gap between the different salaries. So this is the basic reasons why people are moving towards tech, why people are interested into tech roles and doing tech stuff. Meanwhile, yes, I'm able to see your questions like hiring in PM role. I'll get back to them in a couple of minutes. So like as we know about the tech part, right? We are expanding, we are doing stuff, we are making things happen, we are putting everything's online. Like in these lockdown periods, we were doing online stuff, online things like grows like uh, online stuff, like online platforms, online stuffs are like growing exponentially. That's the main reason why India is having like a lot of unicorn startups and stuff. And not just India, like if we look at US and other places, there are engineers or there are tech people who are getting a really great salaries. Like they're getting one uh, 1 or 2 CR for a beginner's role or for a fresher role, fresh graduate role. A couple of my friends joined Amazon Dublin and Amazon Seattle. They are getting a really good salary over there. So that's like, like if you see like the last 10 minutes what I have said, if you have listened them clearly, I am going into the engineering direction. Like, does tech and engineering same? This is a very important point to discuss. Like, there are a couple of friends of mine who basically comes up in conversation and asks like, hey, dude, I'm not an engineer but I wanted to get into tech. Like, is there a place for me, what I can do, and how, like, will society accept me as an engineer if I don't have a BTech degree or something like that? So is engineering the only way to get into tech or stuff? No. I believe the answer is a very big no. Because there's a very basic reason behind it. Let's take an example of a doctor. Like, if you want to become an orthopodist, I believe, or a neurologist, so you have to get an basic MBBS degree, then you practice, and then you start taking patients, and then you practice on people, right? You have to learn stuffs by your hand, you have to do things by your hand, and for that you're gonna need great guidance. You're gonna need like great equipments and great precautions. You have to take great precautions as well, right? You won't be messy, you won't like to be messing someone's life. But if we take an example of an engineering or kind of thing, you there's a very basic requirement for that. You just need a stable internet connection. That's it. You can do anything you want. You can become a content creator, you can become a video editor, you can do digital marketing, search engine optimization, you can become a software developer, website developer, app developer. You can build anything you want to do. And personally, this is what I feel. Like, becoming a doctor, you're going to need a lot of equipments, you're going to need a lot of guidance, you're going to need a lot of things, right? But to get into tech, you just need a basic internet connection, or any device on which you can surf internet. Now you might be thinking like there's a laptop requirement as well. There's a lot of things included in that as well. But these are basically a few excuses. I remember I had a talk with a junior of mine. Like, he's in first year of his college, and he is coding on his mobile phone. He's doing competitive coding on his mobile phone. Obviously he's a bit slow, because typing in that is a bit difficult, but he is doing something. So getting into tech, obviously that's going to be the easiest path. You just have to get a internet connection. I believe if you're watching this, then you're having a good internet connection. You just have to start with some stuff. You just have to start with something. You don't need a degree for that. I remember last week I had a couple of discussions on a couple of freelancing websites with the video editors, and after looking at the rates of like what they are doing and how exactly they are doing stuff, I was blown up with the price. Like they are doing a very small job with like which takes around 5 to 10 minutes, and they're charging a very good amount for that. And that makes sense, that makes sense as well. Like if you're doing a job within 5 minutes, it basically means you have invested a lot of time to get that job done within 5 minutes. So you deserve that amount as well. So it's not about engineering, it's not about becoming a software developer, it's about getting into the tech verse. How what are the different aspects of tech world, how you can get into that. So like uh if I talk about the basics of it, like there are multiple benefits. You can after getting into tech, you can switch companies quite easily. There's You can work as a freelancer, you can earn a lot of money. Like um in India, there's a friend of mine who earns around like 8 to 10 lakhs per month. Like I was amazed to see his income tax return received this December. So if even if you're a fresh graduate, like let's say you just graduated and you are having good capabilities, you can build application and you can do some stuff. So there are a lot of companies who can hire you on the basis of your skill set. You just need to get started with something, get good at something, start applying to different places. if you don't if you are not interested in working in a firm, let's say if you're not interested to become a job, like do a job, or uh, get become an employee of any company, you can do freelancing, you can build your own startup. That's the best part. Being into tech, I feel like I am the master of stuff. Let's say if I'm having an idea, I can build that application, I can build that website within a few or within a very short span of time. Let's say I am having an idea of a very small startup which is related to shoe selling and stuff. So I believe I that is in my mind from a very long time, which I am implementing on my weekends. And the best part is I don't have to reach out to someone and pay a big amount to them to do something. I just started my laptop. I just thought of something drawn on my just created a plan and started creating that application from scratch. This is the power of technology. You can do that thing. Like you can build your stuff, you can publish them, you can monetize them, you can get money from them. And that's like a very good thing to start with. Let's take a couple of questions in between. Okay, so Vikram is asking best places to hire people in tech. Obviously, there are a lot of places. There are a lot of different platforms from where you can hire, but LinkedIn is the best place where you can connect with good people. You can find the basically you can sort some requirements and just jump in. If you are a recruiter of if or if you are a very like if you want to do this thing for a longer time, then there's a platform called LinkedIn Recruiter. LinkedIn Recruiter is a platform which will help you to find good people. It is a paid platform as far as I know, but a lot of companies, in fact Amazon uses that. Like a good amount of recruiters from Amazon uses that platform called LinkedIn Recruiter. So they just went to that platform, they submit their requirements, it shows up a list of people, and it shows a good number of people with the matching requirements, and you just have to set a command, and then it sends a same email to all those people, and then they can apply to your position if they're interested, and like you can continue talking them. So this is I believe there are other platforms as well, Hirist and AngelList and Internshal is for internship, I guess, and Insta Hire, INSTAHYRE. And there are a lot of platforms, but in my perspective, LinkedIn is the best thing that you can have. Okay. How do you get a PM role? Okay, Harsh, I need a bit of clarification here. Does PM means a program manager or a product manager? Because those two things are completely different. That would be great if you can elaborate that one. Let's talk about the next question. How do you stay on top of blockchain and meta to ensure you have relevant skills in the future? Cool, cool. That's like a really good question. Okay, if I let me give you a basic example. There is a possibility that you might not agree with my answer, but this is the reality that I have realized in my 4 and 5 years of tech. When I joined my college, my engineering college, I got to know that artificial intelligence is at boom, big data is at boom, like machine learning, artificial intelligence, data scientists, and all these things are growing exponentially. I started learning that. I started investing my time in a language called Python. I did machine learning. I spent a good amount of time on building some great stuff. I spent a good amount of time on building projects based on artificial intelligence. I built some recommended systems, and after around 1.5 year, I realized that this is not the right path to go in my perspective, obviously, because my ultimate aim was there to get a job at a FANG company. FANG means Facebook, Amazon, Google, like any big tech company, right? So I just wanted to get a good job at these places. So these like, if you take an example of the machine learning, AI intelligence, and all these things, they were at a boom on 2017. They are still quite famous. They are going to be evolving, but the scope of this thing is very less. If you talk about software engineers versus data scientist, or a software engineer versus a machine learning engineer, then there is a huge difference between the number of, sorry, the number of jobs or the number of people working on these skills. Because the things like machine learning, what we see in machine, like, after taking example of machine learning, we're gonna jump to blockchain and meta stuff. Like, after you spend your time on machine learning and like building AIs and stuff, you realize that the universe, like the all the big tech companies, they're still focusing on app development and web development. So you just learn, you can learn machine learning, you can do app development, you can do web development, but there are high chances that app d and webd guys are going to get a good job or a quick job than a machine learning guy. Obviously these things are in boom, but it requires a good amount of research. By research, like, if you see, there are very less opportunities for data science positions, because those people like this kind of things need a good amount of research. So if you are a PhD guy, or if you are doing masters in machine learning, then you will be able to get into ML related jobs. Now let's talk about your question over here. How do you stay on top of blockchain and meta to ensure you have relevant skills in the future? Obviously, that's nice. I love this question, to be honest. There's a very basic thing called fundamentals. Like, if you are good with your fundamentals, you can do anything. When I get into college, some people were suggesting me to do web development, some were suggesting me to do data structure, some were suggesting me to do programming in this language and that language, but the basic thing remains same in all the languages. So if you are good at any tech stack, if you are good at anything, if you're good at like googling is the most important skill in tech universe. So if you are able to do these things, I believe you will be like blockchain and metaverse, that's gonna think that these are going to be a very small part of your life, let's say, right? When I joined Amazon, I wasn't working. I'm not a web developer, but when I joined Amazon, I was working on a newly freshly created website which is called Amazon Academy. It took me around 4 weeks to get into that project, do some tasks, and get my hands dirty on that. After 4 weeks, I have got like a really comfortable grip on those things. Even I have never, like, I haven't studied those things in my engineering for 4 years, but at this moment I'm doing those things very fluently. And the reason behind that is I am learning, I am curious to know stuff, I am having a good brain, I am having a sharp brain, which is learning, which is basically spending which my brain likes to spend time on tech. That's the basic thing. If I had to switch into blockchain, or let's say artificial intelligence, or let's say augmented reality, that's like a really great thing. So that's gonna take me around 4 to 5 weeks to study about that, to know more about that, to start building something. I'm gonna start with a couple of personal projects, and then I'll be on a mediocre level. On when you get at when you go from beginner to medium, that it's like the most difficult part. Starting is the most difficult part. When you get at a medium level, then things become easier. So I don't do blockchain. I don't do artificial, sorry, augmented reality and stuff. But if I have to do that, that's gonna be a very small task to me, because I have done some basic things. I know a basic language. I have done a good amount of study in that. I know how things are working. Let's take an example. Let's take a very basic example. I am using a computer which is Apple MacBook Pro. I There's a keyboard, there's a screen, and there's a trackpad. I can use this to browse internet, watch videos and stuff. And let's say someone gives me a laptop, or someone gives me a Windows machine, or let's say Linux machine. that uh, that is like a very basic thing to me, right? Like that machine is gonna have a keyboard, that machine is gonna have a screen and a trackpad. Just the software things are going to be a bit different. It's going to take me a couple of days to get handy to that thing, and then I'll be able to use that. That is the same scenario in tech world. If you have mastered any part of technology, shifting your technology, let's say blockchain, or like augmented reality, or like something else, that's like a very basic thing. You can do this quite nicely. You just have to get your fundamentals ready with your with your brain. Like you just have to be curious to learn stuff. If I look at the leaders in my company, they've been into tech in like from they have completed 20 years in tech or more, but they are still learning new things, they're still implementing, they're still leading things. Okay, Harsh, what is the going salary? Okay, I believe you're asking for the salary for PM. Uh, Again, can you please tell me what PM means? Like, are you talking about product manager or a program manager? Just tell me this. I believe then I'll be able to answer your question. Product manager. Okay. Obviously, product managers are like let's talk about product management. What product managers do? That like in tech world, there are if you're into engineering, if you're into a tech company, there are different tech roles. There are quality assurance engineers, there are software developers, there are machine learning engineers, there are data scientists, there are data engineers, there are managers, then they have product managers as well. Now software engineer build stuff, quality assurance engineers, they test those stuff, device associates helps the quality assurance engineer to test those stuff. But the product manager are the people who are going to plan thing, who are going to strategize the things. let's say i am uh, let's say I am working at Amazon Academy, and I have a very great idea that we should add in our application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach the product manager. I'm going to prepare a proposal and tell them that this is the feature that I wanted to add. Then product manager are the people who will analyze all these things, like is this feature going to help us grow, what is the amount of effort required in this feature, all the strategies, all the tech, non-tech stuff, how much resources are we going to get. So product management is this kind of role. And similar to software developers, product managers get a very good salary. If we have to compare a salary of a starting what do we call it, a software developer or a product manager, obviously product managers are going to be good on a good we can say product managers are getting more than a basic software engineer, because software engineers are software engineer engineering starts with the very basic level, right? So let's say in uh, uh I cannot reveal the salary of my company basic but if I give you an idea, there's a good amount of difference between a product manager and a software engineer, because firstly they are strategizing things, they are responsible for breaking things as well. If a product manager or if the product management team realizes that there is a feature requirement, they tell the team to create, the engineers start creating that, they create that thing, and after all these things the feature got published to the basic users, and after the users get to that, and then after user, let's say user engagement or this kind of stuff have reduced a bit, right? So product managers are going to be responsible for this kind of scenarios. They're going to reiterate things and check out how things are where things are going down. Basically they're managing engineers, they're managing engineers with their knowledge and with the knowledge of product. This is what they do. So this is the basic reason why they get a this is the basic reason why they get a better salary than a normal software engineer. A quick question on deployment, your views on Vercel. I believe that's out of my context. I haven't used Vercel, to be honest, so I don't think I'll be able to answer this question. Yeah, do we have any questions? Let's 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 take a couple of more questions. If you have, just shoot it right now. We have covered PM rule, we have covered blockchain, we have covered salary of PM. If I have to give you an idea, the salary of PM in India is going to be greater than 1.5 lakhs per month in hand. So this is the basic standard for a entry level role. So if you go to senior or mid senior position, that's going to be like a lot. But 1.5 lakh per month in hand after tax is what you can observe in different firms. A quick question on deployment. Okay, that has been answered. Anything else? Anything else? Best learning source. Okay, that's another great question over here. This was I was like about to come at this point. This is one of the topic of my talks. So let's till now we have covered why tech world. Our engineers are engineers going to be the uh, tech guys or some kind of that? What are the tech fields? We in inside tech we have content creator, video editing, digital marketing, SEOs, engineers, product manager, program managers, and their analysts, data analyst, and product analyst, and a lot of fields are there in tech. uh, we have studied the requirements. Obviously just going to need a basic internet connection. So these are the topics that we have covered. Let's talk about the next subtopic, which is a better name, subtopic, which is the best learning source. Okay, in technology there are a lot of sources, right? There are paid sources as well as unpaid sources. If we look at YouTube, there are a ton of resources, a ton of YouTube channels and stuff from where you can learn sorry from where you can learn things. So let's say if you want to learn Android development, just go to YouTube and search how to start Android development. There will be a short video of an Indian guy, most probably, who will be explaining the different paths to take. Choose any path, start with that, and just stick to that. If obviously if you are not addicted to videos, then blogs are really great. You can go to uh, you can go to and official documentations from where you can learn these things. But if you're a beginner, that YouTube path is much better. There are different platforms from where you can learn stuff. Let's say there's a platform called Udacity. They have a ton of courses on a ton of things. You can learn Android development, web development, machine learning, AI. They have a lot of courses. They are quite expensive, but if you don't need a certificate, you can do them for free. And in tech world, we don't care about certificates. We just if I remember, I have more than 350 certificates of different courses and stuff, and they have a value of zero, because everything which matters is your skills. So go to Udacity, go to udemy.com. Udemy have very cheap courses, like 300 rupees to 500 rupees for a course. And in that course you're going to learn everything related to that from scratch to end. If you wanted to become an ethical hacker, even if you wanted to learn a guitar, how to play a guitar, you will be able to find things on Udemy. So there are different institutes as well who can teach you stuff. There are their mentors as well. The best ones are Pep Coding. The other one is Coding Ninjas, Coding Blocks. And on Udemy there's one called Coding Minutes. So you can search these names on uh, internet. Just google them out. You'll know what are the things that they're offering, how does things works and stuff. And if I don't support privacy, oh sorry, piracy, but if you're good at torrenting, I believe you will be able to find these stuffs for free. And on YouTube you have like everything for free. So YouTube, like, you have, just name it, search it, you'll get that thing. How to build YouTube, search, you'll get a complete video series or something like that. How to create Facebook, how to create WhatsApp, how to create something, how to learn this, what is artificial intelligence. Just name these things, search on YouTube. You're gonna get a good amount of resources. Just select a good playlist, stick to that, complete that thing. This is the main thing, right? Like when I was in my beginning into the tech wars, uh, I used to like invest a good amount of time on planning different things. I used to buy different courses, start with this and complete with that, and that makes doesn't sense. That doesn't make any sense. Just stick with one part, stick with something, and just complete that thing in a flow. If you are curious, if you have an interest, that's gonna be a really good thing. But if you're doing it like a job or to get a good salary, then it will be a bit slow or and a demotivational thing kind of for you. Okay, let's talk about the next question, which is, do you have a mentor? Okay, in this tech world, mentors are really important. From my first year of engineering to getting into a company, after that, even right now, I have a mentor in my professional world. So mentors obviously help you a lot. Let's talk about best learning resource and mentoring stuff together. Let's say I want to learn a language called Python. I just googled, and on YouTube I search a playlist. I am starting doing that playlist. I'm coding, I'm investing all of my time. And then someone senior told me that, hey, instead of doing this playlist, just do a course, or a like do something that I have done, and that has benefited me, and then you can try as well. So in this part, that person acted as a mentor for me to learn Python, right? So this is how a mentorship system works in tech culture. You like from there's a very good thing that I do. I'm good at observing. Whenever I get into a room, I like to be quiet. I like to observe the environment. I like to see how things are there, how people are talking, and what kind of things are there, and observe and learn from them. This is what we should do. Like observing the good things is very great thing. Let's say whenever I try to meet someone, I just try to learn the best part of them. Whenever I get into touch with someone, I just I just see what that people person is good at and just try to make mimic that thing and learn that thing. So similarly, if you want to become an app developer, search for people who are really good app developers on LinkedIn, get some help. There's no nothing like, oh, that person will get offended or something like that. Just shoot a great message, hey, how you're doing, and I'm trying to like doing this and stuff, and I have did this kind of research. I need your suggestion there. Just get that suggestion, and that person would be like willing to help. Obviously in tech world, we what we do is we learn things, we open source our learnings. So basically get mentorship. Just search for just you should have a goal, right? Let me share my experience. I was a second year student. I'm not from a very big college, I'm from a tier 3 college. Like the usual package that our college students get is like 3.5 lakhs per annum, and for that they get a salary of 15,000 to 17,000 per month. This is a usual what my college students get. So I basically did not have any good opportunities. I did not had any great connections, but I heard of a thing called Google Summer of Code. It looked fascinating to me because there wasn't a band like this college people can participate into that or something like that. There's you just have to be curious. You should have some skills, and then you can participate into that. So I tried to reach out on a couple of people on LinkedIn. I get in touch with them. I learn from them, get some tips from them, and just uh, started working on my goal. So you should have a goal. After having that goal, connect with people, now talk to them, try to have a good conversation with them, uh, mark and note their points and implement, and don't do the mistake that they have done. So this is the reason, like basically I found a good mentor, a good person over LinkedIn. I had a couple of conversation with them and used those tips into my preparation. And in like due to those tips and tricks, I was able to complete Google Summer of Code. So Google Summer of Code is basically a program hosted by Google, and the like I was 18-year-old when I was doing that, and the stipend for that is like you have to work for 3 months and the stipend is $3,000. So assume an 18-year-old boy getting paid 3,000 USD, which is around 2.1 lakh rupees for 3 months. Like 18-year-old getting 2.1 lakh rupees for like working for 3 months from work from home. So this is the power of this mentorship thing. You can just look for things, whatever interests you, find a mentor and like start shooting emails, start shooting your ideas, let your brain do whatever it wants to do. Just try to do some stuff and you will be on a really good place. And like after doing Google Summer of Code, everything got changed. And like I remember when I graduated, I was having the I was having the greatest package, like salary package of my complete branch in like complete previous years previous like no one had got this much of package in last 20 or 19 years. So this is the power of this mentorship thing. You like my college didn't had a really good exposure. So I used to get in touch with different people. I used to get mentorship from different people, get suggestions from here and there, and just try to implement those things in my life. And that has helped me a lot to grow in my tech career. So this was like most about mentorship thing. Okay, so let's talk about the summary part, like what we have covered in today's session. This is all what I had planned for you, like the basics of the tech world, like what are the money. This is the future, like anyone can start with these things, like what does engineers do, and like all of those things. What are content creator, what kind of tech jobs do we have, how to start learning, how to start with like getting into the tech part and what are the requirements of that, what is the basic learning resource, what are paid resources or what are free resources, like talking about mentorships, and we talked a bit about my experiences in tech as well, which wasn't planned. So I believe that this was everything I had to discuss with you. So if you had any last minute questions, let's take them in like last 2 or 3 minutes. Then we will be wrapping up this complete talk. I'm waiting for I'll wait for 60 seconds for any question. Then we will be wrapping up. Hey, thanks Harsh, thanks Vikram, thanks Abhinav. Yeah, yeah, sure, Vikram. We will be having a couple of more great sessions. Just and let me know if you have any suggestions for next session. What kind of session do you want? If you want a specific technology-based session or something like that. Okay. Looks like we don't have. Could you also share your screen and code something? I think that would be really cool. Okay. We will plan something for this definitely. We can we can play with some really good scripts. I'm really good at scripting. So like let's say if you want to send some LinkedIn request, or if you want to automate your thing, let's say auto reply on WhatsApp or something like that, we will write a basic script on that, and then you will just basically hit enter, and then computer is going to work automatically like that. This is something that looked very fascinating when I was a first year student, and then I thought of learning this thing, and I really love that. Like when I was looking for jobs, I never did the thing like manually searching people and then sending a request and stuff. I wrote a script, I run that script sent it 1,000 connection request with this specific message. I got a lot of company or like a lot of interview scheduled due to that script. So automation is like really great, and that would be great if we can code something, and you guys can run that script. Yeah, surely we'll do that. Okay, so I believe we don't have any questions today. So let's wrap it. To be honest, I had a really good time. I wasn't expecting like questions from you because I gave talks at different colleges and stuff like, and students and people like basically hesitate to ask something. So that's really good to see a couple of good questions. I love a couple of questions on like this blockchain and metaverse, source mentoring stuff and stuff. So I also had a great time. I believe you have learned some stuff and some things as well. So let's plan another session and see you guys there as well. So uh, for today, so I believe let's wrap this up. Have a nice day, have a nice night. Good night, bye bye.